Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming The Lord of the Rings Online. Unfortunately, this stream is a little bit later than I initially scheduled it, so I am sorry for that. I accidentally scheduled it at 6:30 my time instead of 7 o'clock my time, but I'm still starting a little bit earlier than I initially intended. And somebody was here before the stream started, but unfortunately I can't read their name. I don't know how to read that. Not even sure the exact language with that, but hello. Anyway, I'm going to be today doing some missions and scaling group content. It's really just a variety of stuff. I'm basically, in a way, a play session that I might normally do. But I did want to do something new still, so this is like a Kin event night for us. So we're doing some of the scaling group content on Anor, but I also wanted to do missions because update 28.1 brought a big change to missions that made it basically reverted one of the things the way it was in beta. So you can now get the daily and weekly quest after finishing the intro mission, and I thought it would be fun to do that on the captain. That's one of the classes I wanted to test. So we did when update 28 came live, I think the second stream I did was actually on missions and just talking about missions. So today I'm kind of continuing that, but in the first stream I did on missions, the LOTRO servers went down about an hour and a half into that, maybe even less than that. So I did not get to go through too much missions gameplay. Looks like I'm on this character like almost done with the Great Wedding. I kind of remember I was doing it a little bit scattered throughout a few different streams when I played this character just as like something to fill in. But today that's going to be missions, and I just need to actually get somewhere where I can travel to the War Room, which there's actually a stable master. This is the Midsummer version of Minas Tirith for Volume 5, but yeah, I just need to get where I can actually travel to the War Room, which I can do. I just have to go down to the bottom tier here. But yeah, anyway, today's going to be just pretty loose and a bunch of different things. One thing I thought during free time, and there probably will be a bit of free time since I'm doing a couple different things, but just during some downtimes, I plan to talk a little bit, maybe comparing missions to group content to instances, basically. Because one of the big thing with missions, when I heard it was announced, I thought, okay, it does sound like quest content, something you'd go through solo and be like a neat story experience for whatever character you go through it on. So that was a component of it, but I also thought, I think I need to go to City Stables. I also thought it sounded a little bit like Skirmishes. And hello, Don White, you said it looks like Korean. Yeah, that's entirely possible. It's just, unfortunately, I can't read it. And with YouTube, with my like live control room, I actually can't even go to the name to see to like put it in Google Translate or something to tell me what it is. Okay, so in at Curfew, we'll go to the War Room, and I think this character still needs to do the intro mission. I know I stream that a lot because I need to do it on all of my characters, and I have a ton of characters in LOTRO, so I basically just do the intro mission a ton. But yeah, that'll just be what we need to start with. They also added, there's a new Barter Vendor. It's not a new vendor, and I seem to have names turned off. Usually they have their names when I click them. So maybe there's a setting for that I have turned off. Selection name, that I usually have on. I don't know why I took it off, probably for like thumbnails or something, or not thumbnails, but screenshots would sometimes ultimately end up in thumbnails. But anyway, they added this Barter Vendor, and this, it's just the Motes of Enchantment vendor, because you can get Motes of Enchantment from the daily and weekly. Not that many, but you can get some. It's one of the things low-level characters can use. It just takes forever, especially considering how many Motes of Enchantments these things cost. Like if you were interested in getting gear while doing missions, it takes a ton of Motes of Enchantment. So nice of them to reward you 2 Gopalaka war marks though for just like doing the quest to go here basically. Hello Gabe Parker, you said you really wish you could get the expansion. If you mean about like buying it, that is unfortunate, but especially if you're having trouble purchasing it, I know some people have issues with that. Still having issues with that, and it's already been out for like a week. I think a week and a day. I think I am in the blue line. I do not need to be in the blue line right now, and I can turn damage numbers on. I had a bunch of things, I guess, turned off for this character's UI. We'll get floating damage. I hardly even needed to do any damage there. I think, okay, I do have a DPS spec. I thought this character might have been like my Browning, and I didn't even know if I had a DPS spec. And I really don't like using axes. I have a halberd. I might... Oh, I really wish I had a sword. I do not like halberds on high elf captains, unfortunately. I think high elves in general, I just don't like the halberd slash axe slash hammer animation, except for Guardian. They're not bad with the Guardian class, but with the captain at least, I really don't like the halberd animations, which is unfortunate. But that's a minor thing, and I can just switch weapons to a sword. And hello, Canal do Nego. You said you're a new player to LOTRO, but not a subscriber, and you asked if that fact will be negative for your experience and you didn't buy any expansion packs anyway. I think VIP being a subscriber more gets you nice things, so it won't be very negative if you don't have it. If you previously had it and then started playing free to play after already having it, you would probably miss out on some nice things that you got used to. But starting straight from not subscribing, at least for some people that I talk to and hear from, it's not too bad. It's more if you go the other way around. Sometimes it's a little bit rough, and I realized I didn't have my pet out and need to do my Blade Brother and all that stuff that the captain does. And it looks like we're getting close to 7 o'clock. That's usually when our kin events start, so I might only be able to do the intro mission, but we'll get back to the missions after we do the group content. And yeah, I think as Gabe Parker said, you can go through a bit of content with a bit of grinding, sometimes not even that much. But you basically have content till level 30 or so. You're not like level capped by not subscribing, but you have free content up to about level 30 or so. And then you get these things called LOTRO points, which can be used in the store. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but you can do deeds. You'll have like deeds in the different zones. So like this character still has a bunch of deeds in Breland, it looks like, and that gets you LOTRO points, and you might be able to get enough of those to buy a couple quest packs to go to like the next area, to the next zone, unlock the quests in the next zones. So yeah, while this guy, just because I do this mission so many times, while these guys do their talking, I basically go around and pull everything I can just to, well, first I can get the XP, and again, I've heard them talk so many times now, I've done this on so many characters. So basically we just have to wait for them to notice us. I'm supposed to be staying with Ozma the dwarf. I don't know why I threw my banner there. I did not mean to use that, I was just using it for an AoE. It's been so long since I played the captain, I didn't even think about like not needing to use that right there basically. But yeah, this is what I usually do, and it looks like the work noticed me. He's not even facing me though. Okay, so I'm actually going to give... Oh, I can't give Ozma Blade Brother. That just basically limits one skill right now. Let's see, I'm going to try to get my AoE, but the troll died, so I didn't get my AoE bleed, I don't think. Focus on the Loremaster right now. And fortunately, missions are like extremely easy, so I don't have to worry about dying even with all these mobs. I don't think, at least. It'll actually surprise me if I have to worry too much about like my morale or something here. Which sounds crazy, but that's just like how easy missions are. I think even the dwarf here heals me, Ozma, because I keep getting healed as well, even though I am taking a decent chunk of damage. But Canal, you said you are from Brazil, so buying the game's features is hard. And yeah, that's unfortunate. I think LOTRO does not have the best monetization system. I feel like they could get not only more players, but probably even more people willing to spend money on the game if it was a little bit more friendly to purchases. That's one of the biggest things I critique about the game. Unfortunately, the reinforcements, that's what a lot of these mobs are. We got the reinforcement affix, so I think all the mobs can basically summon more mobs, but all the reinforcements here don't actually give XP. Okay, so yeah, we're starting to form the group for the scaling instances. I think we're doing Bells of Dale and maybe Sameth Gold or something. Probably pretty flexible on what we do. I think we're just doing scaling group content, really, the 6 mains. But I will be going, I think it's going to be level 95, so like the level cap on the server, so I think my Runekeeper is the only character that can really go to that. I will not be doing the captain the whole time. I might come back to this captain and do a couple extra missions, probably finish out the daily at least on this character. And then I'll probably do my Warden on this server, do the daily on my Warden here, and then, I don't know, maybe another character on the server, but after all of that, I would like to try to get to doing some characters on Arkenstone, maybe like Louisden and even my Minstrel could be an option. Yeah, so Gabe Parker, I also have to agree with that. One of the big things with LOTRO and the monetization is you don't get the expansions. At least with VIP, you don't even get them. And it would be nice if, except the last expansion, it would be nice if those are included with VIP. I could see them not including the last expansion. That one would make more sense at least. But unfortunately, you don't get any of them. And I leveled up, so that's nice. But these are the new quests that you can get from, this is what it was in the beta, but these you can now just get. And I think in the beta they gave gun to bad copper coins, which didn't make much sense. So it's a nice change that you get the Gobblelaka War Marks. The only thing with that is you only get cosmetics, and that's kind of one of the big things I have. You don't really have much you get for your actual character progression from these, but at least having dailies and weeklies back are nice, and every week you could get like 200 motes of enchantment, even though 200 motes of enchantment is not that much. I think even the big draw from the weekly, like the biggest thing you get out of that is the Scrolls of Empowerment. The Starlit Crystal's a little bit, but max tier 58 is very low. But I should probably get switching characters. I don't want anybody to be waiting on me. They're probably all in Discord waiting. Actually, nobody's in there yet, so it looks like we're a little bit slow, not just me, but that is good. And yeah, beginning of days, I think that would fall into how like WoW works, World of Warcraft, with what they do with the expansions. And speaking of that, if I ever actually get back to playing WoW, what character am I playing? My Runekeeper? If I ever get back to playing WoW, I'm not sure if I will be buying Shadowlands right away. I might eventually buy that expansion if I really like the content, but with WoW, whenever I play that and whenever I get back to streaming it, because I do intend to do that, maybe doing it like every other week. I just had a lot with update 28 recently in LOTRO. Oh, I was like hearing a weird noise in my headphones, but it's Discord, of course. Like somebody's mic just like open a little tapping noise. But anyway, what was I going on about with WoW? That, yeah, I'll probably just like stick to doing low level stuff in that. Let's see, Fall Festival, I'll finish that. I just basically get free XP. I don't know, I might eventually do Harvest Math. There are so many things I could do and want to do in LOTRO, and festivals unfortunately are low on my priority list. And yeah, Canal, you do have to buy the expansion pack, but then you, as a free-to-play player at least, you have to buy quests basically in the zones, quest packs, and those unlock all the quests in the different zones. So this character is in West Rohan. For some reason I thought I was like way south in Eastwold, but I am in Broadacres. And it has been a while since I've quested on him. I'm still trying to get through West Rohan and actually get him to level 95 on the server, but I pretty much only play the server when we do group content with my kin here. and maybe some of my low-level characters I play here, but otherwise I'm pretty much spending my time on Arkenstone, mainly working on my level 130 Warden Louisden and doing the new content on him. But yeah, I think we're just waiting to get the group fully formed, and I don't know what all I can do on this character. Maybe I can take him to the war room. I would rather save the West Rohan questing. I have that kind of set up as a partial stream series, so I'm intending to do all of West Rohan like all on YouTube, all as a sort of let's play type thing that's all streamed. But anyway, I can at least take him maybe to the war room. We can maybe even do missions on this character if there's enough time, enough like breaks in between whatever content we're doing. So it sounds like we're going to switch that to tier 2. But one of the big things that I've been thinking with the missions, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, missions are a little bit similar. Or they made me think of skirmishes, and skirmishes you can run with groups, so it made me think about group content. But then missions are only available to do solo or duo, so they aren't really group content, they're more only solo type content. So I think it would be neat, and perhaps would have been better received if you could run them as a group. So Canal, you said WoW is the annoying ex-boy or girlfriend who we run away with and run away from, then we'll go back to. So I can see that. I actually stopped playing WoW after Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm, but then my brother got back into it in Mists of Pandaria, and I got back into it in Mists of Pandaria. I was also enjoying LOTRO a little bit less at the time. We were actually going through West Rohan, Helm's Deep. I think it was that expansion pack, and maybe like Gondor, so I started playing WoW again. And I think on my channel, that was before my channel, I really started focusing on it more, but I think I started like a rogue series on it. That was like the one class I didn't play that much. Let's see, I need to change my volume. Everybody's super quiet. Oh, am I DPS heal or... So I'm actually not sure if I'm DPSing or healing. Usually I heal these, but we have a minstrel, so that's why I was thinking I would be DPSing. This character, because he's level 93 and not quite to 95, and we're doing like tier 2 end game for like Anor the Legendary servers. Oops, so was I on heal or DPS here? Yes to DPS, sorry. Okay, they said yes, and it was yes to DPS. So let's see, this is the right DPS spec, heal line. My DPS might be a little bit low though, because my runestone is bad, and I think at West Rohan, like, I've heard a 3rd age level 86 item is better than a 1st age level 85 item as far as allies go, so that's a little bit outdated. I don't think I have an upgraded 3rd age, but yeah, it doesn't look like it. Higher level one. It's been a while since I played my Runekeeper and DPS'd on him. Oops. Maybe shouldn't have hit those. I think we just run straight to the top. So this will be interesting. I think my damage will be low. This is also tier 2. I might have a little bit low morale. Also, usually if I'm going to DPS on the server, I would do my Warden, but my Warden's too low level, unfortunately. I almost feel like playing Fire. I don't think it's that bad at this level. I think at higher level it's a little bit worse, and lower level perhaps a little bit worse, especially for like solo content. Okay, we got our remove corruptions. I have a corruption removal. I think it's control 3. It's the same icon as a silence, so it's a little bit annoying. Okay, do my runestone. Who are we focusing on still this card? Trying to cycle through. Actually, I don't even have my corruption removal. I don't know why I'm cycling through trying that. I guess I'm used to playing classes that can remove corruptions more frequently. Wow, they all absorbed. Actually, I think we need to hit the gold or brute. I don't know what I'm targeting. Unfortunately, the assist target is a guard, and I think we need to hit the brute. It'll distribute. I think that's the way it works. Maybe it distributes, maybe it's the other way around. I'm actually not sure. That could be possible. It's been a while since I've actually looked at it. I should actually look at their stats or whatever about that. But I think a lot of other instances, at least, there's like one big guy who will be absorbing the damage, and then that distributes to all the little mobs, like Library at Them, Myrdain, the Eregian instance does that. So, beginning of days, you said you played WoW until... Oh, actually, I missed Canal's message about his favorite role being healer, so playing alone was painful for you. Yeah, playing alone, especially if you like healing, that often means there is nothing to heal, so that wouldn't be a great experience. If you want to heal and don't have anything to heal but yourself, you're a lot better solo killing things, yourself doing damage. So group content is always good. In beginning of days, you said you played WoW until Pandaria Mage. Yeah, Mage was always my main class in WoW, but there were a few times where I liked Shaman more. Shaman was always like my second favorite class. I feel like I'm not really using... Oh, I'm out of power. Maybe that's why all my skills feel weird. I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, I have a few things that I can do to restore power a little bit. And we have some low DPS, and I'm a big part of that, I think. Like, my gear's okay for my level. I have a lot of the epic battle jewelry. I still have the hype bold gear, I think, for my main pieces. So this character's gear wasn't bad. It's just like if I compared maybe my DPS to my Warden, who is my other big character at the level cap always on the server, on Anor legendary server. It was always a lot lower, so whenever I DPS, I'd play my Warden. But whenever I'd heal, I'd play my Runekeeper. And I don't know where that train of thought started, because that's not where I was wanting to go. Looks like we're getting power restore here. But yeah, basically I'm used to contributing more damage-wise, and I don't feel like I'm doing much right here. I could try fire, especially with this long of a fight. I might go ahead and actually try fire, see how that goes. Oh yeah, well, I actually do want to do all these little quests because this character can actually use all the XP, get him a little bit closer to 95. Okay, I think I'm good. So Warden Spear, I'd actually send that to my Warden, but I don't think it's enough of a thing to really worry about. And I think I was in Bree on this character, but I forgot to get the subscriber town services daily thing, so I just have to deal with a full inventory basically throughout this. Looks like I have a level 95 piece of gear. I think I have done a couple of the scaling instances with this character at level 95 with this group, so I have a few of those, but a lot of my epic battle jewelry is actually better than the jewelry that drops the scaling jewelry. And then the helmet might eventually be an upgrade. It actually doesn't even look like it. So, Canal, you said, yeah, your main role is healer. The only thing that you know is heal, you're useless as a damage dealer. It's kind of weird. I know a lot of people like, oh, we're bringing them down, I think. A lot of people, I think, like doing DPS. So it's interesting to hear from somebody who likes to heal all that much. Looks like we got them in a group, but didn't quite get them all the way like around the corner. Okay, so actually I want to use Smoldering Wrath. So I'm actually curious, if I hit this thing, I think it distributes the damage back. It's protecting, those will absorb all damage directed at their minions. As the keeper. I think it's still damaging the other one. So anything I hit in AoE basically goes extra to him. Maybe it helps with like bypassing mitigations. I don't know if that's actually the case, but it could be a deal with that. I think fire is pretty fun to play. I played lightning so much on this character, I feel like playing fire right now is fun, especially because we are having these slightly longer fights, so I feel like I actually get more out of it. And when I compared at least at level 85 on this character, fire and lightning basically did the same DPS. I think in some really long fights, sometimes fire would be more consistently higher, but lightning had some good burst damage where sometimes, or it had the potential for good burst damage if I got big crits, so it'd sometimes be higher and sometimes would be lower, just more inconsistent. And it was hard to test. I was basically doing different level 85 group content, mainly like Baird Gul'Thor, I think is one we ran a lot. So beginning of days, and WoW, you said you bounced between Rogue, Mage, and Warlock. So one class of those I played a lot, and two of them I did not. Rogue and Warlock were probably two of my least played classes, along with Priest. Those were like my three least played classes, I think. And then LOTRO Loremaster reminds you of Warlock. That there's actually a couple similarities I feel like with them. I think the Warlock had some things that would like damage themselves, like maybe Hellfire, that AoE. And I know the Loremaster, some of their spells at least used to cost morale. I don't, oops, accidentally stepped over one of those. I think, yeah, we don't need the Gul'Thor spirits, but yeah, accidentally totally ran right over that in it. Did damage, or do we, yeah, we need the corpses, which I think the spirits summon, something like that, because I thought we did need them, and it looks like we do. It's been so long since I've done these instances. We did them a lot at level 80, yeah, 85, because that's pretty much all you could do. But now my kin in general has been more focused on doing the epic battles, and I've done those. I've gone through them on my Runekeeper. I've gone through most of them, at least the big group ones, so I haven't even done all the epic battles, and I'm not really interested in that. But it looks like we're starting to move through towards some of the other skill and group content, and also we have the low level progression group, so I don't know, this is just like a little bit weird to me actually getting back to it, but I really like these instances. I think it's fun to do. So I think they're going to pull them, line of sight, pull them down here. Hello, GSC Gold, you said you're doing event stuff while watching us. So with the event, I think I mentioned that's something I would be interested in doing, but it's like low on my priority of a lot of different things I want to do in LOTRO in my time, unfortunately. I assume you're talking about the Harvest Math Festival, I think that's what it's called. Actually, don't, whoa, I thought his morale was low. Maybe I had somebody else targeted, but I thought one of these was like really low morale. Then I basically wasted Smoldering Wrath, even though I was trying not to waste it. I think I jumped in the middle of it. I'm basically pressing random buttons, it seems like. I'm probably not doing a great Fire Runekeeper rotation. I think the biggest thing with the Fire Runekeeper is using Smoldering Wrath as often as possible. That does a ton of damage, basically. And then Combustion can sometimes weave that in. Like this would actually be a good time, I think, to wait for Smoldering Wrath, but Combustion would be the attunement consumer that I can weave in if I can quickly build attunement right after it. But yeah, I feel like I've basically been pressing random buttons and just happen to burn things. Yeah, so with the Loremaster, beginning of days, you said your mana doesn't lower down like it should when you use power. So yeah, power is basically mana, and LOTRO mana is power. Like, is that a good way to put it? Instead of mana, you have power as the blue bar. That's your power. But yeah, a lot of skills don't cost that much power. A couple classes will eventually run into issues like you probably saw earlier when I was playing Lightning Spec. I went a little bit low on power, and it goes down slowly. A lot of classes don't have issues with that, especially if you use power potions, and there's often abilities to restore power or mitigate these power issues, but sometimes in long fights you will run into issues with it. But I think in general, it used to be something you had to like actually manage your skills and save your strong skills for when you had power, and I think that was the case with some classes, at least back in the day, from what I remember a little bit. Alright, got to avoid the bone piles as I keep getting some skulls. Yeah, I can't do anything about my inventory right now, so having to deal with that being full. I have so many different things. I have a broken cloak clasp, so it's pretty exciting. I think that's something I got when we ran Tower of Warthink, actually. So I think we need to have our backs to the walls like this and fight them. I'll use... Oh, I don't have my firing stone targetable, but ground targeted, but I think that will be okay. Combustion. That's a more proper Fire Rune Keeper rotation. I think I got Smoldering Wrath and I got Combustion in. And then I got another like Smoldering Wrath in. This would be a time I'm actually not sure if using Combustion is great there. I'd have to... Ooh. I think I almost used Essay of Fire on the next pull. Okay, so I actually want to get a little bit closer and use... I'll use Smoldering Wrath right now, but I actually want to use my debuff Flurry of Words. That's always something good to put on. Good to put on early in a fight so people can actually take advantage of the crit chance buff. And it looks like... Oh, I didn't have the Do Not Fall, and it looks like that guy was interruptible. I don't know which one of my spells interrupts. Probably Control one, but I should have had Do Not Fall on the... Either on the Runekeeper or the Minstrel. We didn't really get that lined up. I didn't even think about that again, so long since I played the Runekeeper. I'm doing not great with some of their stuff right now. Actually, I need to use Smoldering Wrath next. I totally messed that up. I tried to switch it to Smoldering Wrath. I had Essence of Flame queued up like I usually did. But after being stunned, I didn't realize I still had all the attunement when all my skills came off cooldown. The tanker, I don't think anybody has needed heals. I can switch to heal mode actually fairly easily. I don't think I have Mending Verse. That's something I sometimes pick, but that's more usually in the yellow line. I think I picked that one. I actually wonder, I'd probably spend my trait point on the critical chance there. Alright, let's get him rezzed. I can get Glur. No, I'll probably use my extra Do Not Fall whenever that comes off cooldown on the Guardian. Try to keep up with that a little bit better this time. I have XP boost. I didn't even know I had those. I don't really want to use those on this character. I know it would be nice to actually get double XP while doing these instances that I'm doing on him, but it's good to know I have those maybe for like an alt or something. think we're probably focusing on the Loremaster. Oh, I missed Essay of Fire because the original mob died. That's also a very quick way to build attunement. I think it's even worth doing that sometimes. Essence of Storm to get to Smoldering Wrath after using the combination of Essay of Fire and Essence of Flame. I have a Corruption. I suppose I can remove that plus 50% melee damage. That seems scary. Oh, did that change the Corruption? Oh, it just went down in tier. Yeah, probably don't want to switch, don't want to go out of Smoldering Wrath to get something with that, especially yellow. Okay, I'll use, actually I want to use Smoldering Wrath. Still not sure entirely that that's worth doing, but it doesn't take too much time. I have a Corruption. Actually, I should be targeting the Sorcerer. I'm doing a bad job right there. So I guess with the missions, I don't know if I ever finished talking a little bit about that, but I was talking about how it made me think of Skirmishes and they'd be fun to do group content. We're not doing the missions right now, but I always enjoy group content in LOTRO, pretty much, at least, especially all the low-level stuff. I think group content is fun, and I think having a new system like missions could be exciting for group content, and epic battles were maybe even a little bit similar. They were a new system after we had Skirmishes. Skirmishes were the first one. Skirmishes, I've talked about, but are pretty close to missions in a way. Skirmishes are kind of like quests where you go through flags. It's like more involved than a quest. Maybe like a quest set would be the amount of time you spend in Skirmish. Some of them are super quick though, so maybe not quite like that. But you can run those group, and I feel like a lot of the missions could be scaled to like group size basically. You might still have to kill 10 mobs, which would be super weird for a group of 6. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't think this boss has any fire immunity. I almost remember maybe that used to be something, but that we had to deal with. Or that's often in the Moria instances. Yeah, I have. Yep. Yeah, did you say we need to switch to lightning? Okay, that's. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. And sorry, I was just gonna say, put my second do not fall on the Runekeeper. So yeah, this boss actually is immune to fire. I was thinking correctly with that, and I need to switch to lightning. Unfortunately, I was talking during the time when my Ken was talking about that in the Discord, and I totally missed that. What are these? It looks like the subscribers jug, but that's just potion of rapid crafting that apparently I have. I think you basically have rapid crafting if you actually use your subscribers jug. If you have that, if you're a subscriber, of course, and actually pick up the daily quest, you have to go all the way to Bree. It's not that much out of the way. Travel in general in LOTRO is like... Oh, this is the distributed fire damage. We should have some reses. I have a res on Glor, I believe. I'm not sure. I can do a little bit of healing. I might actually switch. I'm in the yellow line, so I have a little bit more healing with Mending Verse, basically. I thought... Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know where the res went on the minstrel. I thought I had a do not fall. Maybe it went off by time I saw that. I'll go ahead and give him a regular res. It's possible. I'm actually curious if I can watch the playback of my stream. A little bit of convenience with that. Yeah, right before he died, the buff went off. It was like within 5 seconds. The buff was on, and 5 seconds later he was dead, but in between that time the buff went off, the do not fall buff for the res. And I don't know, we had a little bit weird position there. I'm used to taking him all the way back to the room. But yeah, I just really feel like in general with this group, I don't contribute too much to it, especially for tier 2. Usually it's not that much of a problem, but I probably don't contribute all that much. I should go ahead and get the do not falls going and get one on the minstrel. I think we're going to stay here, and just when we get an eye, we have to run away. All these virtue XPs, I'm saving all those just like I am on Louis Den, but saving them for whenever we get that plus 20% bonus virtue weekend, which I think is coming up in December sometime, but I'm not entirely sure. Just means my inventory is extra flooded until then. I'm actually not sure if I have any consumables on this character. He's not really that well equipped. Basically, when we've been doing the epic battles, I have not had to really care about anything like that on this Runekeeper. In the epic battles, it's more about healing banners and healing soldiers and that type of thing, at least that I do. And with that, it doesn't really matter that you have all these like scrolls that people use, or what's the hope tokens, and other people have those buffs, but I don't even have like food buff. Oh, that even one shot. Yeah, the distributed damage, that did 16,000 to me. That didn't quite one shot me. He also did flame jet. But yeah, both of those combined just did enough damage. That was unfortunate. It was like right as we started, and this is one of those slow parts, especially while streaming, just like streaming me being dead and dying a couple times on a couple attempts. But I think eventually we'll get through it. This is a fun instance though, I think, in general. A lot of the Mirkwood ones I think are fun. Org pins, that is a very frequently run one for like XP boosting real quick. But I think that one's actually pretty fun if you kind of get past that little bit. What are the other ones? We're in Sameth Ghoul right now. Dungeons of Dol Guldur. That one's a little bit weird. I don't dislike it, it's just a little bit slow, I think. Barret Guldur, that's a fun raid. I think it's one we actually have run as a kin somewhat frequently. So we're just waiting for the minstrel to run back right now to res us. I thought we had High Health Hunter res go on somebody, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, I was just talking about the Mirkwood instances. And yeah, we're in Sameth Ghoul right now, but I think they're pretty fun. Overall, I feel like I haven't really streamed them that much. That's why I feel like it's maybe a little bit weird, just because I haven't actually streamed it or played it or uploaded on my channel that much. I think one time way back in the day, I don't even know way back in the day, but update 23 on the live server, I might have done that. I did that, I think, when actually my warden, my original warden on Arkenstone, was getting close to 120. I did it. It was a little bit of a challenge on tier 2. But yeah, I think for this fight, there's a lot to it. And hello, Kenneth Rogers. So for this fight, or in Mirkwood in general, there's a lot of distributed damage. I don't know, maybe this was the expansion they came up with the idea of distributed damage. So basically you need to stand together for a lot of things. Because if the damage is distributed to whoever it hits, it'll one-shot maybe somebody. And then if you all stand together, it's distributed against everybody. I think even in some other cases, if you just spread out all damage, everybody a lot, maybe something like that. But anyway, we need to stand together. And I think there's also a debuff we need to remove. That first thing we had when I died was 6,000 damage or so was the furnace score to hit with Flame Jet, but I think that's something. And I need a Do Not Fall, get that on the Minstrel, the healer. And I think the other one's going on. I wonder who the other one's going on. I think that would be going on me, but I'm not entirely sure. So we got the boss started, and we have fire where we are. Oh wait, whatever. Apparently we're running to the door to reset it. I don't have great keybinds to really use my heals. I'm playing a DPS spec, but it's a little bit weird to me. I'm not all that used to clicking. But anyway, this is going super slow. I feel like I don't know if we've actually been here 20 minutes, but I almost feel like we've been in this boss room for 20 minutes or something. Let's see, we started the first attempt with the boss, it looks like about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, just had a little bit of a slowdown. This is honestly a little bit more challenging than I thought. I don't know if they increased the difficulty from when the servers were at 85 with that, so it's a little bit nice to see, but I just don't think, I personally wasn't ready for it. I'm also low level and under LI'd as the main thing, so I'm not doing as much damage as I could be, especially if I was level 95 with a second age. I think it's a huge difference in West Rohan with those. But yeah. And hello, Jasmine, you said get a LM or Yellow Berg. Unfortunately, with our group, we do not have one of those. We pretty much, and this can just take anybody and go with the flow, which I enjoy, kind of prefer that style. But unfortunately, that means we sometimes don't have the most optimal setup. But that is okay. We should be able to get through something like this. Again, we just have, I think, a couple people not ready, probably even a couple people not well geared. Looks like the hunter has a lot of morale, but I have hardly any. Again, I'm under level 95. I have the height bold gear mainly, I think. I'll go ahead and get in the room. Let's get Do Not Fall. Actually, Do Not Fall has a 30-second cooldown. They have a heart buff. Oh, that's probably the subscribers jug. I should be using that. Alright. I thought I didn't even pay attention. I could have been rezzing them the whole time. Okay, Do Not Fall is up. Actually, I have things to remove wounds. I think we get some wounds in this. I know the Runekeeper wound remover is a lot better. You can actually use it while moving now, which is super weird. That used to be something long and you would just stand still for a second even if you used it and then could try to move, but yeah, it's nice, kind of upgraded. I might actually apply it to myself at the very start of the fight. What did we get there? Dwarf Endurance. Yeah, like, I think that gives a little over 500 morale. Or actually don't know what the Runekeeper. Vitality is such a weird stat right now. It might only give 4 morale per Vitality, I think, for Runekeepers. I don't know why they changed Vitality to be like that. I think it's to be more effective for like heavy armor classes, make the squishy classes extra squishy, but I think they could make up for it, like armor basically makes up for that, and I feel like it would make a lot more sense if Vitality gave the same amount of morale for everybody. There are a lot of like weird stat things they've introduced in LOTRO. Okay, so I am going to, at the start of the fight again, use my Scribe a New Ending on myself just in case we seem to be getting the fire debuff. In this instance, we're running this boss fight really weird. Somebody has the eye, so that is not good. Okay, so we in general as a group have to try to stay together for when we do get the distributed damage, but right there the Minstrel had that eye for a long time. It was a little bit worrying, but he was able to get it off. But yeah, usually whenever I've done this boss, I guess we'll get yellow. I can use a couple skills first and then go yellow. Don't need to spend that whole time casting this, but... Oh, I got the eye this time. And I died. I just take a lot of damage. That was actually just a regular ranged attack that killed me, but I am extra squishy, as we all know. Maybe when I get the eye, I'll like try to bubble myself. I can use steady hands fairly easily as the yellow line. Okay, so I'm going to use Concession or Rebuttal for a strong epic conclusion. I'd like to run into melee range. I probably can. I don't see any reason why I couldn't. And then epic conclusion. Okay, we got him almost halfway down. I think I'll use a sustaining bolt and I'll actually restore some power right now. Oh, I got the eye, so this is... I'll bubble myself and run away. While the eye is going on, I'm going to take whatever heals I can. Clicking them, unfortunately, but... Yeah, the eye dropped and I can go back. That was a lot better that time. I was a little bit ready. I don't know if I took all the damage I did the last time with like the regular ranged attack, but it was a lot better. I'm also just noticed I haven't actually used Vivid Imagery. I need to use that more frequently. It's a really strong skill. Might need a power potion here in a minute. And I have another Do Not Fall. I'll probably... Oh, it looks like the Minstrel has a different Do Not Fall. I wonder... I think the other Runekeeper was putting it on the tank at first. I should probably actually have put it on the Runekeeper if he has Do Not Fall on the Minstrel. Wait, what did I just use? Mending Verse. I did not mean to use that. I'm going to actually use Steady Hands, get my power up a little bit. Oh, so I think we're moving. Yeah, need to get... out of the fire. I'm also used to killing this boss before the fire comes in, yeah. There's the Guardian and Hunter left. They might be able to do this, I'm not sure. As long as they don't take too much damage, basically. As the DPS, I haven't been paying too much attention how the morale of the group in general is going down and up, but... yeah. So, yeah, we did better that time, but unfortunately, I feel like we killed him really slow and that just kind of got all messed up when we had to move away when the fire came. And I think some other people are running back, so we can just wait for the res, I suppose, but Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate because we did get him down. We did a lot better that run, but just didn't quite defeat him. And again, I feel like with my squishiness, I'm just like extra setting the group back a little bit. Kind of just something for me to look at while all this is going on. I think my earring, this is probably one of my worst pieces. It has a lot of tactical mastery though. It just doesn't have much like will or vitality. The gold jewelry, of course, is good, but it's still level 85 stuff. Shield of the Hammerhand, I wonder if that's still... Yeah, that works till 85, so I need to replace that, I think. I have a bunch of level 85 gear. I don't think that's too out of place, but it's not like it's getting me any XP or anything again. I wonder if I've even... I think I actually had 2 runestones at a point, like 1 DPS and 1 for heal. I wonder which one I even have equipped. I have a Fury of Storm. Oh, I have a big mixed one equipped, I think. So Fury of Storm, yeah, I think I want this other one. The one I have equipped, the one without the title is the one I want to equip, but I think it's got a little bit better legacies that would be better for what I have. So that is, where is that? Get tactical damage rating. I can go ahead and put some regular settings, and it looks like the other one I didn't have anything special at that either, so I will do gold setting of morale, gem of endurance, I do believe. I'll do a tier 6. And then for runes, I probably want Uncombat Power Regen. I don't think it'll affect that much. I actually could do incoming healing rating. Oh, it looks like we're about ready to start, so I need to focus on getting these up first real quick. Fury of Storm damage, Fury of Storm critical damage, get that up a little bit. Just try to efficiently spend my legacy points. I think I can max that out. That's actually very efficient because I only have 3 left and I'm just trying to do this real quick before the boss fight. But let's... What is deflection? Here's defenses, then incoming healing. I don't know how much that impacts, but all the runes are not that great, so I think that one's okay to try. I need to, I guess, ooh. I still get one shot by that, unfortunately, even when we are like grouped up and get the distributed damage. That's just too much damage for me to take, unfortunately. If I'm like too squishy being this low level, I can drop if y'all want, if somebody else wanted it. I don't remember though. So yeah, that sounds like they're okay with me sticking around, which I thought they would be, but I just thought I would offer in case it seemed like I was actually setting it back. And the pending loot, that thing, I keep clicking it just because it's like something down there and it's something I want to get rid of, just to get rid of that little icon, but I just have all this pending loot that I have to wait for, and I can't really do it. And that's pretty much all I can look at, I guess, while I am dead, but that is... Okay, I also don't think last time I actually used my Do Not Fall, so I'll get that up this time on the Minstrel. Okay, Do Not Fall on the Minstrel. I don't know why all these skills randomly gray out. Oh, I guess you can track them all. You can still use them. It's a little bit weird, but I'll just like get grayed out. I'm not sure. Maybe you could like switch specs and switch back. And I think in combat, maybe after killing something, they usually go back to normal. Yeah, I'm ready. I guess I have like Daleman's Cramps. That'll help a little bit, maybe. Just anything I can use to give a little bit of a boost with what I have. I actually have like a Tomo defense. That'd be a lot. I I probably should use that actually. They basically just sit in my inventory or whatever with my characters. Even like the scroll of finesse, I should probably use those. If we fail one more time, how about I'll use those? Can't. There, I can go in range. Just had to get a little bit closer and I can zap him. A little bit of extra heals. Okay, so what are we doing for actual combat? I think I'll use Concession and Rebuttal and Epic Conclusion. I think I've used Rid of Lightning out in Tier 3. I'll have to refresh that at some point, but yeah, I'll just have a little bit of downtime, I think, with my rotation. Actually, I don't know if he was in range of that. Okay, so I can use Epic Conclusion again, and I can also use, I keep forgetting about it, but I can use Vivid Imagery. I think that means I have like three or four maybe stacks of Concession and Rebuttal left. That is not me, that is the other Runekeeper. Oh, I do need to get rid of Lightning back. Oh, it's the other Runekeeper. He was keeping rid of Lightning up, so I could have kept just like using Concession and Rebuttal. That's how that was staying up. I was actually wondering, and it's the other Runekeeper that was doing that, I think. Other Runekeeper again. I think he keeps getting the eye. Actually, I should also be using Flurry of Words, get the crit chance debuff. That would also help. All these things with the Runekeeper I kind of forget about. So I think fire is beginning to go, and I don't remember if we're going clockwise or counterclockwise. I think we keep oh, I have the eye. I guess we're going this way with the eye. I need to, I forgot what I did with the eye. I needed to steady hands a bubble myself, not use the debuff remover. Well, apparently I'm getting it res, that's okay. That means I could put Do Not Fall back on the Minstrel. I hate clicking those spells, but I guess it's okay. I think I've gotten so used to finally getting the keybinds down on my Warden with like the Gambit Mastery, so like clicking actually bothers me a little bit when I have to do it on other classes. For like skills that are at like shift equal, that I can't really do that with one hand. I'd have to go with my right hand, but I also want to keep my mouse up. And oh, I'm stunned. I'm going to use a potion. Used a potion, I died anyway. Okay, they have 93k left. There's also 2 Heartseeker dots, I think. I don't know how strong those are, but that's a couple things going on. Looks like I put Do Not Fall back on the Minstrel. Maybe he already used it, or... Oh, I wonder if the other Runekeeper, I wonder if he's starting to put... Okay, it's less than 20,000. Oh, there's some bleed going on. Maybe it's okay, it's a little one, but it's still bleed. Just a couple more hits. Nice job. That was like pretty sudden though. We were getting very close, and then all of a sudden all of us died except the Guardian. But then he was able to finish him off at the last like 20,000. But yeah, it was nice to actually get that boss defeated. It's always one of the nice things in a way about wiping a couple times on a boss. It makes it feel, at least to me, a little bit extra accomplishing, I guess, once you actually get it defeated. Especially like with our group, and considering I am a bit low level. And we have a bunch of, I guess, more casual people, maybe would be the good way to put it. I don't mean it in like a bad way, like that it's bad that they're that way. Actually, like it. It makes stuff like this that's typically relatively easy a little bit more challenging, but I think that just made it extra accomplishing that we did that. So apparently the Runekeeper who was having to run away, he got the eye a bunch. He wasn't in the Discord where like people might have been telling him to run away, and he just happened to run away after all that. That's funny. Let's see if I got any. I got no exciting loot. Oops, shift 1 is my interrupt. Actually, I did get my interrupt off and interrupted him. He hit me with something from range. I guess the Guardian took aggro. I'm probably going to switch back to fire, but I'm not sure. Actually, I like both specs. I like both lightning and fire. Actually, I wonder if I have combat analysis. We could actually do a little bit of testing on like the trash fights just to see a little bit, maybe like with this group composition or whatever. Plugins load. It's been so long since I've loaded a plugin. It's a good thing about this. I like to use it to actually compare between two specs on a character like this, so that's when I like using combat analysis, just also comparing between my characters. But you can actually get some, like if I feel like I'm doing more DPS on the lightning, that doesn't actually mean I'm doing more DPS on lightning, or the same case with the fire, and I doubt I play either of them optimally, like fully optimally. I try to play them decently at least, but often, especially when streaming and just talking about things, I end up pressing random buttons sometimes. Okay, so I think we're on the sorcerer now. Yeah, my DPS around the 5,000 minutes, very roughly. Again, this is not the most optimal testing, but that's about what I had when we were writing Baird Guldur, and I'm not sure. You also have to consider like whatever other classes you have. Sometimes burglars increasing the damage enemies take, captains increasing damage you do. There are a ton of different factors you have to account for when looking at DPS. That's why like the target dummy, the training dummy, you can see at least your solo DPS a little bit. The one that you can get for Figments of Splendor is nice, and I actually got that for my Ken Island on the server because I had a ton of Figments of Splendor for like those. I mainly got them from actually the loot boxes. I don't buy keys to it, but you get like 4 keys, or at least I get 4 keys for every character, or for like all the anniversary boxes you get. But that would actually be something like before we went into the instance, I could have actually tested that, but I have a bunch of other things going on with this stream. I wanted to do missions as well. So I did that on the captain. Now, this is actually taking a while. I did not expect the group content to actually even take this long with this group. We've been going, well, not a full hour. It was scheduled for an hour ago, but I don't think we've been quite going a full hour in this instance. Really wonder, I should actually pay attention. I think you're supposed to hit the guard, and that will give a little bit more damage, because if I just hit the one on the left, I think the damage I do is a little bit reduced, so probably should be targeting the guard the whole time. I don't know who I was targeting, but I noticed I switched at one point. So I wonder... My DPS between those two fights was like 3.4k. I think I did 4.6k or so on a little bit of AoE one. So again, this isn't like ideal testing the two, but we'll just see a little bit of comparison what I do here with this fight. So we have two Loremasters and a Summoner. I'm actually not sure which one we want to kill first. It looks like the closer Loremaster. We'll try to get Flurry of Words there. I think it hit two of them. Two of them are in the ring for that, but... You know, actually, I think still Smoldering Wrath is worth using there over Combustion with that few targets. Fire Runestone, and then I can use Combustion. To make sure it actually hits, get the... Oh, whoa. Oh yeah, the whole back to wall thing. I forgot about that. They said get your backs to the wall, and there I am just standing out in the open. I almost got tossed over. Oh, I didn't bring that spirit. I don't think that was a bone pile one, but for all I know with what I do, that could have been. I feel like I'm not paying too much attention to all the stuff with what we're doing today. It's been a little bit of a long, busy day for me, so potentially that could be why. And this inventory, I always open it and then I want to go to my thing, but it's just a mess every time I open it up, and I like to push buttons like between fights or just like do stuff. But looking at the inventory is not a good thing for me. Anyway, that fight, it seems like the DPS could be roughly similar between the two specs still. So I don't think it really matters. I basically can play the one I want, that means, based on the couple of fights we had at least. But yeah, I think just going through the actual group content as a DPS, because usually I do play, I think I mentioned, usually I play this character as healing, at least lately I have, basically since level 85, whenever we do anything at level 85 and my kin group needed a healer, I'd play my Runekeeper. Otherwise DPS I did my Warden, but those one, I guess when, wait, how was I going on there? I have no idea where my train of thought was going, but basically playing the two, I just play whichever I want. It seemed like they were roughly similar before, which I talked about before, so I don't think that's what my point was. But anyway, I like Fire. I haven't played that relatively recently as much. I really need this character. I need to get him a new cosmetic, because this is still like my Moria themed cosmetic, and it's been a long time since we've been there. I like the cosmetic, but it's just a little bit... So we need to be up here. This is also weird. I'm used to standing at one of the front corners. Ooh, that did a lot of damage to me. I'm not used to standing there as well with this fight. I don't know why we do it so much differently now than we used to, but apparently we do. And I'm actually not sure what dismissal was. Anyway, it's just, yeah, weird to me. A lot of the fights we seem to do differently than we did. 85, wow, what's all that damage from? Maybe he just does that damage. I'm not entirely sure. There, I might be able to sneak in a quick combustion and build up. Well, if I didn't get knocked back, I could build up this Smoldering Wrath really quickly. I'm also not used to getting knocked back in this. I might have already mentioned that, but... combustion, and then sounds like they're going to try to reset him to get our 2 other DPS. Probably do a lot more DPS than me. That means we need to get out of there, not pull the boss again. Eventually, I think he'll reset again. He's just doing all his range stuff right now, so he's not running to where he'll be reset. Guess we had to sacrifice the Guardian for that one. Okay, so I think I'm going to run in real quick to try to res the Hunter way back there. Alright, yeah, I can't get close enough. I wonder, because of all the knockbacks, maybe it would be better to switch to lightning here. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like we actually didn't need to stay in there. That's... So I guess we'll go to the position I'm more used to. I was actually about to bring that up to them, but then our group leader mentioned that. Wonder how many LOTRO points I have. I just saw I had LOTRO points granted. It's been a while since I spent them, so I've gotten up to 10,000. Wonder what was the last thing I spent them on? It was something. I don't think it was Mithril coins, but it could have been. It's like one of the things in general with LOTRO points, I spend them on Mithril coins, and that's pretty much it. Occasionally there will be something, like if there's a pack or something I will see that I want, maybe even shared storage space, but not even that too much lately. So I just basically accumulate them from my subscription. And hello Nathan Philip Connors. So I think we're standing, yeah, this is where I'm used to standing, so a little bit more comfortably positioned here, I suppose, and I'll do concession rebuttal. Oh, he's immune. And I did not know he was immune to lightning, so I am not going to do much. I switched because of all the knockbacks. I should have known that it was immune to lightning because he has a bunch of... He's like a lightning armor type thing. But yeah, at least I can use my fire and frost spells. I just won't be doing quite as much. If I can, I'll try to get him in Flurry of Words. This is where a melee character would be anyway, so... Yeah, I should get... I'll get Do Not Fall on the Minstrel. We actually aren't getting the knockbacks, so maybe that does have to do with the positioning. I'm used to being positioned here, and I said I wasn't used to getting knockback, so maybe moving here does help. Hopefully we can get a battle res on the Guardian. It looks like we did. Probably actually almost more useful trying to heal than I am using my little damage skills. Just help a little bit with that, especially when it's needed. Fortunately, my keybinds not that great for it. I guess I can just move my left hand to the right side of the keyboard. Okay, so I think I'm good to DPS a little bit. I'll use Flurry of Words as well. Oops, no, I just phased actually. I don't remember this phase. Maybe this one we go up to the top. Oh, way to go, that corner. Apparently a lightning strike killed me. That's okay, because I wasn't doing too much. This is another fight because I'm in lightning spec this time more so. I just feel like I'm not doing all that much, so they probably won't miss me too much. I guess can run back in res. And switch to fire spec in the meantime. I need to run out and repair real quick. So it sounds like we're taking a little break anyway. Yeah, I wish I had my warden up here, because I know I could just do a lot more if I actually had like my warden at the level cap on. It's really a bit unfortunate with the Runekeeper. My situation on the server more is that I just haven't played my characters that much. I am going the wrong way. I wanted to go... We have a little bit of a break with the group, but I wanted to go to repair and actually need to get the subscriber town services, and that means I can actually manage my inventory a little bit. So yeah, I guess one thing I haven't talked about too much in the stream, maybe a little bit, is I just like a lot of the scaling group content in general in LOTRO. I think that's one of the things with missions, to loop this back to that a little bit. One reason why I was thinking when they were initially announced being kind of sounding like the skirmishes again, but if they were group content, I think it sounded fun because I enjoy a lot of the different scaling group content in LOTRO. So if they were kind of quest-like, the initial way I thought of the missions was, I think they said it would be about 2 to 3 quests worth of content in each one, but unfortunately I don't think it quite panned out to be that way. That wasn't really the reality of them. But if they had like a group content version, I would have been excited for that, because I do enjoy a lot of just like the random stuff you can do, like we're doing same with gold, the scaling version of that. So yeah, a lot of nice things there. And I'll go ahead and repair. That was almost a gold to repair. Wow. And I will also, I should have a thingy, an item thingy. Yeah, the subscribers jug. And while we're doing, I think we're doing probably about a 5-10 minute break is what we usually do. I will look at this character, maybe see if I can find a good third age. Oh, I maybe, oh, I doubt the auction house is that busy on the server. If I cannot hiccup while I say that, but not that busy on the server basically. So I kind of doubt there would be a Runekeeper's third age stone that just happens to be between, or runestone. There we go. But yeah, I doubt there's some under level 95 rather. There's a first age at level 95. If I could somehow get to level 95 real quick. It's an 85-second age. I have an 85-second age. It's actually 80 gold for a first stage seems relatively cheap. Oh, none of these are identified, but I was just going to try to show actually the tactical damage rating is the big jump. Even the DPS, that's of course not what you want as a caster, but it's still a huge jump in DPS just as a comparison. So I think that's one of the big things that could help this character do a little bit more damage. And maybe during the break, actually I can get a little bit better comparison maybe of fire and lightning. This is our Ken's Island. If I can... Oh yeah, you just have... I forget you usually have a little bit of lag with anything once you enter this, but yeah, this is our Ken's Island. It's nice and bright daytime. I'm usually not here. I feel like I'm always here at nighttime, so it's actually nice that it's bright, open day. I really feel like in LOTRO, I feel like I'm always playing at nighttime, and I don't know why, so it's really nice whenever it's... Especially here in Gondor, I guess is the Cape of Belfalas in Gondor. It's just very bright looking. Anyway, I think I put the training dummy here. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best spot, but a lot of other people actually, I think, care more about the decoration of the island. I just put this here for something to use, and in an area that's actually used. You have a lot of stuff, crafting type stuff here. But anyway, we have, I think this training dummy goes over 3 minutes, so I will just try a couple 3-minute fights and see how that goes. And again, I don't think I have like the best rotation or anything, but I will just use my skills the way I actually would in group content, because that'd be better representative of what I do. I wonder if it's actually worth using Flurry of Words on your own against a single target, like when you aren't basically boosting the effect of your group members. Because normally if you have like 5 other people or even 4 other people, one of them's going to be healing. If you have that many people hitting the enemy, they all get the benefit of the debuff, the incoming crit chance, so I'm not sure, like solo, if it's worth using, but it could be. Of course, this next fight I'll be using fire anyway because the boss is immune to lightning, but it's still something I'm just curious about. It's one of those things way back, I didn't really think about it too much. Haven't thought about it too much recently, comparing like my characters, but it's something at level 105, that cap, because I did a lot of featured instances and I had basically all classes up to that point running featured instances. They were all fairly easy, but it was also something I was curious how my characters compared to each other in the actual performance and even the specs between them, but it's something I just haven't done too much, or especially on my channel haven't had anything like that lately. I have combat analysis up, but the training dummy actually gives the DPS. I can look at combat analysis, see like what my different skills do and all that stuff. Let's see, I need to use, probably should have used Epic Conclusion, then Vivid Imagery. I don't think Vivid Imagery gets a buff for how much attunement you have, but it does a build attunement, so I could have gotten to using basically whatever skill that was that I just used quicker. Shocking words. So it looks like we've had 2 60-second sessions. Fortunately, 3 minutes sometimes lasts a long time, but that is okay. Good Epic Conclusion there, and hello, Eli Johnson. You asked if I am excited for something for the new Amazon Lord of the Rings TV show. Okay, so a lot of people like to talk about the supposed MMORPG that might be coming up in the future, but this one's a little bit different. I do not have many thoughts on it. I don't know if it will be accurate, but I'm a little bit excited. It's kind of odd, for me at least. There are, in general, like fantasy type things. I like playing fantasy games, I suppose, like the Lord of the Rings Online, World of Warcraft. Those are all kind of at baseline fantasy games. So over 3 minutes, I did 5,745.311.311 DPS. It gives you to 3 decimal points. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it looks like the last one I had quite a bit more DPS, and I guess that's somewhat roughly what combat analysis had. Or with combat analysis, you can actually look at some interesting things. So I can see what did the most damage. So Static Surge actually did, this spell did the most damage. I know it's really strong, and I can tell that in gameplay. Sometimes this will one-shot mobs in AoE in front of me, so that's pretty nice. And Eli Johnson, I never got to talking about your thing since I finished that fight, but I will once I get going with the fire a little bit. But yeah, that's what I did with the lightning, so we can switch to fire and then I think compare the two. I don't want to, especially if my group gets ready to go. I think we're still in our AFK period. But yeah, and unfortunately I'm not the biggest into the Lord of the Rings. I like it, and I've watched the movies. It's been a long time since I've watched the movies. So Axel Guinea, you asked what my favorite character in the Lord of the Rings movies, and I don't have an updated opinion on that, but the one I liked when I was younger was always Legolas. I'm not sure that would still be true. I just liked him when I was younger, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I also thought Gimli, I think, was pretty neat, even though usually not a big fan of dwarves. So yeah, eventually I do plan to watch the Lord of the Rings movies again, but But yeah, but for the Lord of the Rings TV show, I think TV shows are more digestible to watch. I think they're also usually a lot longer, so you can have a lot more content, tell more stories, basically go more in depth. So I think having a Lord of the Rings TV show would be more appealing to me. I haven't looked too much into it. I don't even know when it's like coming out or supposed to like premiere. If it's this year, I don't think it would be this year, but it could be. Maybe next year. I don't really know. It could even be a couple of years off for all I know, but at least I know that it is coming. And I don't know if it will be accurate. I don't know if I quite talked about that. Oh, I have pending loot still. Don't want to be losing the valuable shining essences. Okay, so let's destroy that. Oh, I got a rune bag. It's probably level 95 since we're doing 95 stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and do fire to compare. The other one, I think, what was it, like 5,300? 5,700. So let's see if I can do better with fire. And fire is a little bit scarier because I don't think I quite play fire as well. I feel like I'm just in general more familiar with lightning, but we can go about this a little bit. I also like Gandalf as far as characters, because he is, I guess, in comparison to LOTRO, similar to the Loremaster a little bit, so that's neat. Just to have an actual like spellcaster in the movies, or in the series, not just the movies. Looks like my DPS on combat analysis is a little bit lower right now. I really like having the actual numbers to show this, though. It's one of the great benefits of this, and I missed that Smoldering Wrath, I know, and I had Essay of Fire. This is like an example of me not playing it as well, and I think even a very long fight like this, it could be worth using Scathing Mockery. That skill is not often worth using, but at least with the situations I'm usually in, but maybe even a fight like this it could be. So let's go ahead and get Smoldering Wrath, and Essay of Fire will be the next one. I'll probably use that with Fire Ridicule on this instant cast. There we go. Just gotta try to build. Oops, I'm actually at the Ken Island on the target dummy, but were you all waiting for me? Oh, I did not know that, I'm sorry. Okay, apparently I thought we were going to try to get another member, so I was waiting for that the whole time. Apparently they were waiting for me, I think, but I thought we were actually waiting for somebody else to join in. Exelginia, thank you for joining the stream. I feel like the content hasn't been too exciting since we've been going through, same with Goal, but I think it's been fun. And I hear my phone, it keeps buzzing. I mean to, usually I have it on silence anyway, but you'll probably hear it vibrating right now. What do we have? I don't even know when that last came up. I feel like I've been on this fight a little bit more than 3 minutes, but I guess not. Looks like overall my DPS is lower, which I guess is a little bit expected because from my little bit of experience on the landscape, it is definitely slower than lightning. I think we've talked about that a lot, but I thought on long fights like this that it might actually outrun, and it looks like, yeah, about 700 DPS. So 700 is actually pretty significant damage per second, I think. Of course, my LI right now, I have a couple lightning boosting things, so even this isn't perfect. I think it gave a good idea, though. Actually, what's the best way out of this place? I don't even know. I guess I'll go back to West Rohan on this character. Okay, phone back on silence. But anyway. Yeah, that's like more than 10% basically of a difference. Oh, where do I join this? There we go. I wonder if my quest progress reset, because I got 2 new quests and I guess I lost the quest progress of the other ones, unfortunately. But yeah, this fight I do have to be fiery, even though it does less damage, less DPS. But yeah, 700, just thinking in terms of overtime. Like overtime, if we have these boss fights, I think they even last a couple minutes. So if I compared 900, 5,000 damage that I would contribute over 3 minutes versus... Uh-oh. I pulled a spirit on accident. I think that would eventually follow me. Hopefully it doesn't stay there just pulling more of these corpses. And I feel like I'm causing issues with the group, not just because I'm low level and all that stuff, but I just stepped on a corpse and I was paying no attention to where I was walking, so I just like ran over that. Oh, I didn't even realize my morale was so low. Somebody was like talking about somebody's about to die. I was like, oh, I don't see anybody about to die, but apparently my morale was low, I guess. I was about to die. Now I'm trying to kill our guardian. Fortunately, the game doesn't let me, unlike the Bombadil PvP server, where actually we made a few characters on that just to kill each other, basically. We had the dwarves versus the elves. It was actually pretty balanced. I think eventually the elves, the side I was on, won. I actually tried to make a dwarf for that, but didn't quite get around to it. And that's another problem with fire. If you have mobs with really low morale and you're trying to do a long cast induction, things die before you actually do contribute. I'm trying to drag that down. I guess I could have scrolled. Being extra careful about the bone piles now. So this was already tough, and now we're down to 5 people. So it's going to be a little bit tougher. I guess in the kin we don't have, we have somebody, I think, a lot lower level, 39. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be even tougher and perhaps a little bit slower. I almost say that, like, unfortunately. Even though I do enjoy it, it's just like a little bit slow progressing, I feel like. Okay, so my do not fall is going on Glore. And when I get my second, I guess I'll put it on you, Jimmy. I have a bunch of heritage as well, crowding up my inventory. I could probably put, so I actually have, okay, I know something I can do to manage the inventory if we don't start the fight in the middle of me doing this, but the relic combination, I can deconstruct a lot of these rune things. I am ready enough. But yeah, that'll actually get me a lot of space. Alright, there we go. A little bit cleaner inventory. Now I can at least loot the task item. And I guess we are going to start. That was a little bit of a long break, partially my fault, because apparently they were waiting for me while Even though maybe they were waiting for the other innkeeper as well, or perhaps he stepped out because I was taking so long. So I think they were waiting for me while I was waiting for like another person to join. I thought we were getting somebody else to join that whole time, and we did not. I need to... I don't know what we are doing. I'm used to standing here, so I don't really know what's going on there, but this should be good. We usually stand on the left corner, and the tank stands on the front right corner. Oh yeah, I can't do this quite as quickly with fire, but I can do it. Probably use my next Smoldering Wrath. I don't need combat analysis up anymore. I think there's a button actually, I have it down here to turn that off. It's just a little bit of extra screen clutter that I don't really care about, especially now that I actually compared a little bit the two specs. Okay, I got my second Do Not Fall. Better go ahead and quickly put that on so I get my third one, which oop, wait, what? Apparently we're going all green with it. I'm not sure we needed to, but it'll help a little bit. I actually don't have any attunement consumers off cooldown. I wonder what happened there. Oh, my Do Not Fall actually came into use there. That's nice. Actually, I remembered to put the second one up and actually got some use out of it. Probably, ooh. Runekeeper died again. Maybe we do. I'm not 100% sure, but we might have another in combat res for him. So I think this is when we go over here. Yeah, the Minstrel's res is on cooldown, which... Oh, I have a res? No, the Runekeeper died as well. Ooh. I feel like we almost did as good as we did on the first or second try, or whichever one with the whatever try. I thought we did this one maybe a couple tries, but I can switch to heal if you want to DPS instead. Okay, so it sounds like I will stick to DPSing. I feel like, so a lot of the group content I've done lately, even on like this server, I haven't basically since returning to YouTube, I haven't had a lot of downtime like this where I'm just dead. So what I used to do, this is like way back when we were doing a little bit of like Rift on the server, actually, the Rift of Nurskashu, I'd actually inspect like random people. And there's actually, I did not know, I haven't paid attention to anybody in my kins like their gear, but this Guardian, he actually has a nice earring. It looks like one of the epic battle ones, but it's got 544 vitality. Our stats are getting up there. They're not even close to the craziness that is level 130, but our stats are still getting up there on the server. A little bit high, so we'll see if Velgroth gets res next. I can actually just use his res and we get almost a 2-for-1, and that looks like it will be the case. Oh, too many requests. Oopsies. I guess I'll slow down. There we go. There is, okay, little banners, it looks like. So we might have somebody else joining, but anyway, yeah, that's a nice earring relative to what we've had, especially compared to like my other earring. Of course, there's a tank earring, Vade and crit defense, other tank stats. But he also has a legendary cloak. I think that's sold level 75 one. I guess that's sold the best for him. That is the Dragot cloak. Probably, oh, he has some height bold gear still. I wonder if he's going for the set piece for that, or if it's just like still good and just hasn't replaced that piece. It looks like he has 3 height bold pieces, so maybe a mix of not yet replaced them and could just still be the best options he has. I'm really not sure with the Guardian gear. Level 95 shield. Anyway, that's what I used to do basically when we would have some wipes in downtime. I feel like also though I'm being really nosy with that. I just like talking about seeing what gear people have and basically talking about it a little bit. Also, one thing is we're pretty casual kinship, so like on Anor, there were some people that came back that were more, I guess, into hardcore raiding, doing higher difficult stuff, which is okay if people enjoy that, but as a kin, we didn't. So a lot of people would like give us advice and say we need to be better geared, so I just like go about explaining why we aren't quite like that. Oh, we've had a couple of people come on that could potentially join, so I think we're going to try to get somebody. I'm actually not sure. I think both of them have level 95 characters, actually. Unfortunately, with this instance taking so long, though, I haven't gotten too much to missions. We did basically one mission at the beginning, so I will, either way, I think, do some missions after this. I don't know how long we'll be going. Usually we actually go roughly 2 hours as a kin, maybe 2.5 hours, but I'm guessing we try to finish this full instance. Okay, so we're ready to go, and actually I don't know where we're going. Get Do Not Fall. I should have had Do Not Fall on the Minstrel the whole time. That's actually going to be a slight setback just because I won't be able to get Do Not Fall on that Guardian, that means. Oops, I meant to be casting Smoldering Wrath that whole time. Apparently I had another skill queued up. Oops, I need to use Rid of Fire. There we go. Then build my attunement up basically, and then I should be good for Smoldering Wrath. Actually, probably this is a good time to oddly use that. Don't use it too frequently, but I think at least that's a decent time to use it. Whatever it's called, Scathing Mockery. Oh, our Guardian died. I wonder, he might have a... Oh no, I don't think we have a res because we just used it on the Hunter. Okay, so we're going to try to reset, I think. I wonder how I got aggro. It seems odd that I would be doing like the most damage to get the most aggro, but... Well, the hunter died. So yeah, it sounds like we might actually drop this, which I thought I just mentioned that this is about getting close to about how long we go as a kid usually. We used to go back when we were doing like the Rift, the old stuff, the Shadows of Angmor content on the server. What was I just saying? Yeah, when we did the Rift, I don't know if anybody here was like with those streams basically, but we used to go a lot longer. Sometimes we'd go close to midnight, my old time Eastern time, so server time. Ooh, very green. We were in, it was actually a relatively greenish inside of the building. A lot of like the Mirkwood stuff has a green tint to it a little bit. Necromancer-y looking is kind of the way I think of it, but this is like natural green. Again, it's nice bright daylight out. It's just actually nice to be playing LOTRO when it's like that. Especially I think last time, yesterday, we did a lot of exploring of the Elder Slade zone as I was getting started with the questing with that. Did that, it was nighttime for most of that, not quite all of it, but most of what I did, it was nighttime. Good night. Hello, Prototype. So you said you've made it, you've been meaning to watch my streams but haven't been around for them lately. Well, thank you for making this one. I'm glad you were able to make it. And yeah, we just got done with the scaling group instances. That was not expected how that went, unfortunately. In a way, unfortunately. I mean, it was just we didn't make much progress. But yeah, that means I can get back to missions though. And as we go through missions, I can talk a little bit more again, comparing them to the group content. I feel like I've repeated so many times that they're similar to skirmishes, and that's why that kind of what gave me the idea to compare the two, just because this was a stream where I didn't have anything super solid planned, but I thought I'd run some missions. I was kind of thinking about doing missions, but also my kin was having an event tonight that I wanted to make. I thought that'd be fun, so then it was basically why not compare the two a little bit. But I want to go back on my captain and do it. But yeah, in the future, I think there are a lot of directions they could go with the missions to improve them. And that's actually, I think, one of the topics I have planned for a video. Maybe like within the next month or so with all the other videos I have planned, you could see it. But I'm thinking where the mission system could go in the future. Ooh, the last embers of Ner'zgashud. That's fun because we've talked about the Rift of Ner'zgashud just because of like the streaming content I've done. And on the server, that's just like come up a lot. So this is defeat Draw Push in Ashmar Zarak. Where is, I feel like this character's skill bar is all funky. It makes sense, okay, it makes sense. It's just the potions and stuff are in such weird places. Everything's in weird places, but it makes sense somehow. That probably doesn't even make sense, but we'll go with that. There's a Gundabad warrior. Probably should be good. I'm actually not 100% sure on this character, but ooh, we actually turned left. I feel like there are a lot of missions in a building like this, but some of them I think you turn right and some of them you turn left. But I'm actually curious. I'm in a way going to try to die on this character, which sounds weird, but missions are super easy, so I'm trying to find something that will actually kill me. It seems like I'm surviving this fine. Of course I could switch specs and survive even better if I were to tank, and maybe even at this level the blue line that provides a lot of solo survivability, self-survivability, I guess, self-sustain, all that sort of stuff. And it seems like once I get them killed, they're fine. I might have to use a potion, but oh, all these archers, they keep running away. So I'll use a potion. I think somebody's entering anti-exploit mode and my archer is like stuck back doing nothing. Oh, so yeah, my archer was actually doing nothing. Not only was he bannerless, he was being useless. Anyway, if you all have any like class you want to see me go through the missions through, you can let me know, but I do plan to go through at least 3 on this character, complete the daily basically, now that we have the daily again. And then after that, I was thinking my minstrel maybe. And probably Louis and my warden on Arkenstone. And my minstrel would also be the one on Arkenstone as well. Here's the boss. Ooh, wow, that did enough damage to just about kill me, and it probably actually will kill me. I think whatever, I started that with low morale, but I just was not expecting to take all that damage when I pulled him. I think there are a lot of fire attacks when they do have the bombs, the sappers. In missions, they seem to do a lot of damage, so there is at least a little bit of danger there. Just know missions in general are super easy. But with the captain, especially a lower level captain, perhaps just on this class, they're also a little bit harder, and that's one of the things I want to try missions and go through the mission like dailies on a lot of my characters, like every class, and even a few levels just to check this stuff. But yeah, let's see how much damage these sappers do actually. So yeah, that was a decent chunk. Oh, it looks like I still had to get another hit, and they're knocking me back. That's just kind of an annoying knockback in a way. So Prototype, he actually said Captain, Warden, and Minstrel are your favorite classes, so that works out pretty well. Should probably also kill these sappers. I don't know if they do much after they actually throw the bombs. What am I like? Is that powder burn? So I'm still taking damage the whole time, even from the dot. It's also nice to get XP, but one of the weird things with missions is it seems like you get more XP from the mob kills than you actually get from the mission quest turn in. I don't remember it being that way in the beta. I think they've changed the balance between different beta builds. I think they changed how much XP you get, but also by the time it actually went live. What sounds good? Throne of the Razar, that one sounds fun. I actually don't recognize any of these missions by the name. I wonder if all the times I did missions, I just never ran into these and they weren't available. There's a crafting thing apparently there, wherever we are, showing a crafting facilities, I guess, behind me. Well, I might have actually run this one. I at least recognize this area. I probably had one either in this area, the Thrazar throne room, or do I need to do something to open the gate? I actually don't remember. Yeah, if I have done this mission. I don't remember if you kill the mobs for it, or what you do to find it though, so we can try to find that out. Okay, so my archer should kill him. Looks like we have one of those sappers. Thought I ran this one, but I actually don't recognize this room that much. Looks like I got too far away from my archer and lost the Blade Brother buff. Yeah, the captain's really, it's more of a group class to me. I don't have as much fun with it solo, which is, I think the way it's supposed to be with that, it's of course more exciting with groups. And to maybe go on the topic of today's stream a little bit, I think Captain would be a lot more fun with missions if they did have them as things where you could do them as a group. And Prototype, I agree that there's a lot of potential with missions in terms of like future content. I think the developer who made a forum post about that mentioned the same thing. And I think I've done a few review type videos for Update 28. I haven't done one since the full release about missions, but what I plan to talk about in one of them is more about where missions could go in the future, thinking about all the ideas with that. And for one, as I've talked about, group content would be exciting. I paid no attention to my morale there, but I completed the mission, so we'll just say that was my strategy to get teleported to complete that. Okay, so 2 missions down, which means 1 more to go. How about we'll try one from the other NPC. Great Goblin's Treasure, that one sounds fun. Oh, this is in the Misty Mountains, but it's in the Great Goblin's Den in Goblin Town. There's one instance in here and then another one that you can boot up that's level 45, like a non-skilling type one. I don't know why there's only one Goblin Town soldier though. I feel like there should be more soldiers. That's a little bit weird. Oh, there's actually a sentry as well. I wonder, I probably didn't even use that quick enough. So after you use Shadow's Lamenet, when you become battle readied, if you use Sure Strike, you get a bunch of buffs, but I think I actually missed that there. They're doing a lot of debuffs to me. I thought I put Blade Brother on him, maybe not. And I used to actually have this Captain's gameplay down. I actually knew how to play it a little bit more efficiently with like all my keybinds. But I just feel like I'm going a little bit extra slow here. A couple of sappers, I'm actually a little bit worried about my morale, which is a nice change of pace for missions because all the other classes I've done this on, I like haven't had issues. But yeah, the sappers with the fire knockback there, even I think actually going in the fire. Oh, maybe. I thought that knocked me back. Maybe it was something else. I don't even see the ground target area for that, but probably not good for me to investigate that in the middle of combat. So what do we even have to do here? Find the Great Goblin's Treasure. I think I already knew that, but I forgot at least. Let's see, I don't think I have enough trait points wise for Inspire to actually affect me. Use a potion and interrupt him, though I don't think I got it off in time. Thought I saw something glowing there. I'd expect the treasure to be like where the bosses are, at least in the regular Goblin Town where the bosses are. Whoa, that knocked me down into the pit where they have spike things, whatever those spiky things are called. I think it's actually called something when they're set up like that, almost barricade like, but it's not quite what I'm thinking. Anyway, I fell into the pit there, or I got knocked back into the pit. I didn't really fall into the pit. Unfortunately, this time it did not work as well. Did not work as well as the last time because I didn't complete the mission. But anyway, I will have my back turned to that, I suppose. Oh, whoa, I had my back turned to it, I'm still getting knocked back that way, wow. Okay, we're going to, well, I would run away, but now he's going ranged, and I don't think he has any more knockbacks, but I actually don't know. I feel like I've picked a couple bad missions just because they're a little bit more challenging. One of the big things with missions, I guess when I do them, if I'm just doing them, I like to pick an easier one to get through it quicker in a way, but it is okay having the challenges just because if I were to pick the ones I wanted, if I knew them, I would usually want something that's a little bit quicker, simpler, and not with all these sappers that knock you way back. And that could be the affix. I don't even know what the affix is today, but sometimes they have that. And I know in the beta, whenever there were ones like this, they did a lot of damage, even to my level 130 Warden. I think in one point of the beta they would do like half the morale in one of the sapper fire hits. Did I not find that treasure? Oh, there's a lever here. I hear a loud thunk from somewhere nearby. There we go. They actually hid that lever. That was pretty neat. I targeted it with delete, but it would have been hard to find if that weren't a thing. Oh, so now I need to defeat the boss, it looks like. I got the treasure. Oh, here he is. He's actually stealth. I was really wondering where he was. I think he only got one of the bleeds on him. The bosses at least have a little bit more else, so they're in a way a little bit tougher. Just a little bit of a longer fight, I suppose, with that. Alright, so that mission is done, and we'll see. It looks like this dwarf scout will actually take me, or actually goes here. He's not way back at the entrance like they are sometimes. Okay, so that should be the 3 missions for today. Should be able to turn that in, and I got 9 Gabalaka War Marks and 20 Motes of Enchantment. So if I do that on all like 15 characters or whatever I have on the server, then I would actually get a decent amount of Motes of Enchantment, like 300. That's not a whole bunch, but it's a little bit at least. For the Gabalaka War Marks, just to remind myself, I need more reputation. I don't know how many missions you have to run to get all the reputation for that, but yeah, probably actually closest on my warden on this server. So I think I'm going to switch to Arkenstone and maybe do my Minstrel next. And then after that, I will go to my warden. Okay, so yeah, it'll take a minute to get that. But this one, I think on OBS it will automatically switch for y'all, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it should once I get the other one exited out. But it'll probably be a black screen for a minute, and there we go. Ooh, here's my minstrel. There it is. Yeah, I kind of wish the Gabalaka War Marks, they would be nice if they were account bound. You do get a bunch, so if you do a lot of missions on like one character, you can, I think, fairly easily get the cosmetics. But if you run them on a bunch of alts like me, it would be nice if they were account bound, so I could use like one character to basically barter for all the rewards. And you also, I guess, need to run them on one character anyway to get the reputation at least. So you'd have to run them on all your characters to get all that reputation, but go ahead and do all that stuff. This character actually still needs, I'm in the Ironfold. In the Ironfold, that's not the zone name. Iron Hills is the zone name, and I think my Return Home skill, and I have my UI all messed up because I was making a Redline Minstrel guide, which should be up sometime in the next, who knows, with me, like month or 2 really. I would hope I actually get it edited quicker, but sometimes I'm a little bit slow about editing stuff like that. And especially when I have other content, so I have like a whole bunch of other Update 28 content I'd like to do before I get to that. But anyway, this zone, I really like the environment with the Iron Hills. The questing was a little bit weird, I will admit, but I think I still like the questing experience here. It's something I would like to get back to, doing like a playthrough of this zone. But anyway, we'll get to the missions. And I'm curious because the Minstrel has a lot of like good AoE burst type damage. I feel like they would do really well in the missions. That's one thing I want to test, because again, I did a mission stream, I guess a week ago, probably a week ago today, and that was before they actually added the daily and weekly back, and it was also when the servers went down, so I never got to the Minstrel and Captain, 2 of the classes I wanted to test, so it's nice for me to get them tested here. I do have to do the intro mission still on this character. Guess we did that with the Captain. That was actually the first thing with this stream. I did the intro. Oh, I have to remember how to play the Minstrel. I'm actually doing, this mob is surviving pretty well. One thing I will point out with this character and a lot of my characters on Arkenstone actually is, first of all, my allies I don't think are all up to goodness. They're pretty bad, basically pretty bad leveled. Like I need a ton of Starlight Crystal still on this character, that type of stuff. So that's pretty much true with all of them, and or at least most of them. Some of them, their allies are a little bit better. I think this is probably one of my worst characters as far as that goes. In the virtues, I don't even have my virtues selected, but all the virtues are low level and pretty not great. Probably earn loyalty on all of them, but yeah, because they're alts, they're like way backstring alts, I suppose is a way to put it. They aren't that leveled up with their virtues and that type of stuff. Wait, Zeal? Wit, that was the one I was thinking. I need one more. What do I want? How about Fortitude? I don't really care about that, but I want to earn loyalty, I guess, on them. But then the other thing is also I haven't gone about getting their class trait points, because I'm not a big fan of the content where you get a lot of the trait points, unfortunately. So that's just some things to point out with this character. I might be extra weak because of that, basically. So while I was talking about how missions could be good on the Minstrel, there's some reasons why it might not be as well. But somebody better outfitted with the Minstrel, I'd expect it to go better than it will with me. And I feel like the Minstrel is a fun class. I always have fun when I play it, but it's never a class I seek out, which is a little bit weird because I do have a lot of fun playing it. So one thing I've been thinking is making a new Minstrel eventually, at some point. Something I would eventually get around to, maybe. Where did the dwarf go? I must have totally stopped paying attention to where he was going. There he is, hiding. Or there she is. I think Ozma is a female dwarf. But yeah, I thought about making like a new Minstrel and probably going with my new naming convention now that I actually found good names for some characters. So a lot of my newer characters I made on Anor actually have like Louis, or the name based on Louis more, and combining it with the class name a little bit. Don't think it's actually good to pull with whatever spell I use there. Piercing Cry, good to use that second and animation cancel with it, basically. But yeah, I thought about making a new Minstrel and going about it some, kind of like what I used to do, at least with my characters on Anor before all these other projects going on in LOTRO. But just getting a new one and maybe doing a zone playthrough at some point on it. Whatever zone I need to do something, or one I haven't done lately, and do a lot of my leveling there, at least a good chunk of it, and then maybe like instances. And whoever playtime mentions now could do that, but yeah, leveling through that. And I think this character would be safe. I would like to try to find a character that I could play that it wouldn't be safe just running around pulling everything while this part of the mission is going on. So I feel like I have to test it on every character, and I don't know what else I would do in the meantime, so we might as well do it anyway. But just basically pulling all the mobs in this mission while Ozma signals me to stop. But that's what I'm going to be doing. And I think this buffle, the one I have on equal, is the one I can use on myself, but I can't use it while moving. Then the immediate one I have to use on an ally. So yeah, just reminding myself of the Minstrel stuff again. I don't know, the Anthem buffs last a while, but I can go ahead and put those up again just in case. So maybe now would actually be a time I could use the, whatever that's called. Oh, actually I'm taking a lot of damage, wow. Perhaps it's because of this character, some of the weaknesses I mentioned, that I'm taking like, seems to be extra squishy, basically. I have a ton of rejuvenation potions on this character. I feel like I might as well use that. Anyway, hopefully Ozma will help a little bit with this. I know there are a ton of mobs chasing me right now, but yeah, hopefully I think Ozma also heals a little bit as well, so maybe that'll save me from what seems like a sure defeat right now. Well, I think I'm targeting an archer that's like way back. I can't even run, they're knocking me back so much. I can't even like run away to kite them. We have all the reinforcements there, of course, doing a ton of stuff. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm not facing the target apparently. These keybinds are actually a little bit hard to use doing the shift ones while turning and kiting. Okay, I'll use this, and I think that should... Oh, apparently I didn't have my Anthem buffs up that I thought I did. Okay, let's use the Anthems again, and then I should be able to get it to where that one skill resets that one thing. But anyway, yeah, I think Ozma does some sort of heals or something. I could actually look at my buffs to probably know for sure. Oh, didn't have a valid target. Because I don't know how else I would be surviving this. I should be taking way too much damage, but I keep getting those like 12,000 heals that come up, and that is definitely not something I am doing. And then we have all these reinforcements, which are things that these different mobs, they basically spawn them in. So while I did pull a ton of mobs, I didn't pull quite that many. And yes, I agree, prototype kiting is satisfying. That's probably, I think you mentioned Captain Warden Minstrel, but one of the things with Minstrel, the class I'm playing right now, it's fun is kiting. I feel like it's a good class for kiting, even though they don't have, actually they do have an enemy slow, I think. Cry of the Wizards? Yeah, that one actually slows enemies by 30%. Okay, finally getting them down a little bit. Oh wait. That took a while, but it was still fun. I should have paid attention to my XP bar. I know all the reinforcements, which were a decent chunk of the mobs, they didn't really give me XP, but I should have paid attention to my XP bar before that just to see if it actually had a noticeable effect on whatever total I got. Or noticeable effect like of XP basically. Oh, so yeah, I actually agree, Prototype, that Yellow Line Minstrel is enjoyable. That's probably my favorite Minstrel spec, actually. I think it's fun, especially if you don't need the powerful heals. I think it's fun to chip in with damage and get, I think you get a little bit more of buffing with the Anthems. I think they become a bit more powerful playing the Yellow Line, but yeah, being able to do a little bit more with damage, even the Melody stance itself, I think has some neat things. You have Call of Arendelle if you have enough trait points to actually get that. That's another thing that does damage, but yeah, basically I agree that Yellow Line Minstrel is enjoyable even though it's not played that much, because I think most Minstrels would do Red Line for any damage or soloer, that type of thing. And then would usually play Blue Line, I think, to heal. I wonder though, thinking solo, playing Yellow Line for solo, how that would work out. Okay, so we'll do the daily again. I'll try to do a little bit different missions than the ones I've already done. So we'll do maybe the Veil Watch Rescue here. Bizarre Atrad. So many bizarre names of places. I did a different mission here. It was definitely a different mission when I did it, so I need to rescue dwarves. Or was it definitely a different mission? I don't remember there being orms, but maybe there were. I don't remember quite rescuing dwarves. I think I remember there being some objective, but I don't remember it being rescuing dwarves. But it could have been. Yeah, this one I need to be a little bit more with the kiting, I suppose. Using my heal. Oh, I'll go ahead and go through my anthems. This is a bad way to kite, but it's what we'll do right now. Oh, I almost survived through that. even though I'm having fun right now and I'm okay with dying, I almost hate to bring this up, but this is one of the things that bothers me with my alts, them being weaker, and just a lot of the not friendly systems I guess there are for alts and more alt playing. I guess in LOTRO, it's fine if you like want to experience the story again and go through all the quests and all that type of stuff on alt, but I just like playing a bunch of variety of characters, and unfortunately with all the grindy systems I guess in LOTRO, you have to spend a lot of time getting them set up, where I don't quite have that time. So it's hard to get them to a baseline decent level. And I don't know, maybe Minstrel's just extra weak at this level. I feel like on Landscape mine was actually relatively stronger, so I don't know. Maybe they did even change the balance of the missions. I would have to test on a character I'm more familiar with them on. Maybe like I think my Ward and Guardian are the two I've run most frequently on. I don't even think I've done a mission yet on a Runekeeper, which is odd. That's like my second favorite class, and I think Guild Line Runekeeper would be great at missions. But anyway, I just feel like I'm making a lot of different discoveries today about my characters and maybe even the missions a little bit, so it's kind of neat. Some more unexpected things, I guess, that I wasn't quite prepared for. Because I really did think that this would be super easy, even on my Minstrel, who has all these issues with the trait points for one. That's the one that annoys me most, but also the virtues being low. Virtues are quite effective at this level, and then also whatever it's called, the LI. My LI is like extremely weak on this character, and those scale crazy. So that is a fairly decent thing. I could probably double or triple my damage. We can actually look at it, because I think if you look at it like percent or ratio wise, it would actually tell you. So yeah, I could probably triple my damage if I had my LI maxed up to tier 71. And even if I got it to, I don't even know what a decent tier is, but probably in the 60s, maybe even double it. Maybe 50s or 60s, I don't know the exact scaling with that. Like if there are any levels that give a crazy increase to the technical damage rating, but that's just like, I guess to show if I did triple the damage I did right now, if I had my LI built up better on this character. And I even think in LOTRO, so AC Lao, I don't know how to pronounce that, even though it's only 3 letters, but you said you wish LOTRO could do something like WoW just did with a level squish, but I unfortunately do agree that it's improbable. I think it would be a great thing if they could do that, but yeah, I feel like with LOTRO, I've done a lot of complaining right here about kind of the grindiness. Really how weak this character is compared to what it could be is more what it's about. But where is this dwarf? I really need to rescue this dwarf wherever he got. Oh, it actually let me up on this rock. Do you all see the dwarf? I see it on the minimap. It's supposed to be like right here, but I just don't see a dwarf. Oh, is this it? Nope, that's not a dwarf. That's like, I don't know, ground. Not a dwarf either way. It's like right. I can't even target it on the click it. I can click the other one. Let's see, maybe there's another one around. Wonder, oh, maybe I won't be able to do this mission. As I'm going around, I don't see any other one. Is this trap dwarf? I wonder if it's a bug like in this specific one, or if this mission is always a little bit bugged or what, because I can't click that one on the mini-map either, and I was able to click the working one. Oh, here, that would be my issue. I am just not paying good attention. So, as embarrassing as that was, it was just on the other side of that. I just thought it was weird I couldn't click it on the mini-map unlike the other one. Maybe it has to be like in line of sight and you can do it, because I can do that now. So the Runic Maniac, you asked if there's any knowledge of the new legendary service coming. Unfortunately, I don't have anything on that. Standing Stone Games in general has been silent lately, but they've also been silent about that. So I have no info for that, unfortunately. I don't even know if I'm too excited for it. I might like level a character through it, go to it, and maybe play a little bit on it. The hunting grounds, that one sounds fun. Did we already do the hunting grounds though? It sounds like one I have already done. Maybe that's why I didn't do it, but I should have seen what the twisting was. So this is hunt the wilds and gather meat. I think I have done this one before. This is in the Mist Hollow in the Wells of Langflood zone, and it's very laggy. A lot of dense clutter here, I guess. A lot of tall bushes. I really don't like these bushes, to be honest. I think I've talked about it a lot in my previous content. I tried to not let them bother me too much. So for some reason, bushes, especially the bushes like in Iron Hills, I like the Iron Hill zone, I like the looks of it, but I feel like the bushes... Oh, I have a lot of complaints about bushes in LOTRO, but these bushes, like the one right here, where I'm almost hiding in, that's the type of bush that I think is very ugly, unfortunately. Perhaps it's partially intended to be slightly ugly, but I kind of doubt that. At least doubt that that's the intended effect, especially in a region like this. I think it's supposed to be pretty and add something to the zone, but for me, I just think they look ugly. And other bushes, if they looked a little bit different, I don't think that's the case, so it's not like bushes in general. It's just these specific uglier bushes. I like these little ones. I think they look a lot better. And these are also in like Rohan a lot, and I think even Gondor. And one of the reasons I'm not drawn to those places as much. Alright, so I still need to hunt. I was like, I kind of forgot what I needed to do after we did that little bush distraction. So beginning of days, you said you did your first skirmish on LOTRO this evening, and you said Minas Tirith. I'm curious if you mean an epic battle, because I don't think there's a Minas Tirith skirmish. I think there's a Minas Tirith, like defensive Minas Tirith epic battle though. I'm trying to think. Pretty sure there's not a skirmish for that at least, but it is possible I'm forgetting something. And then just a little bit more maybe about a level squish in LOTRO. I think that would be very nice because first of all, that would lessen the gap, and LOTRO is very intimidating. Perhaps is a decent way to describe it, but intimidating for a new player to have to go through 130 levels to get to the end game and see the new stuff. That maybe not everybody would be interested, but sure, I think a lot of people would be. Like a lot of people that randomly join the game probably join it for the Lord of the Rings, but also a lot of people that join the game kind of like the MMORPG aspect of it and getting to the new areas in the game, and then they can go back and explore what they want along the way. And one of the reasons I don't think that would ever be done is, I would say they don't have the technology, but they have had a few things that have surprised me as far as like technology wise goes, so that is possible, even though I still don't quite think it would that. Okay, so this mission is done. I think this is one of the ones where you have to run back to the beginning, and that's where the dwarf will be. So beginning of days, you asked what is the benefit of the legendary server. So back in the day, when it first launched, it was like level capped at level 50, so a lot of people were focused on the Ingmar group content, and then the same thing with Moria at level 60, a lot of people could focus on the Moria content, so that was one of the benefits. You could just, it was a server-wide level cap, so everybody that was on the server and doing that, the levels were a lot more concentrated and focused on like content, so you could find a lot of people doing that stuff that, like on Arkenstone, you probably don't find that many people at level 50 that are often running that, where you can just go through the content frequently, go through whatever systems they had as far as gearing, which I think at that point was actually doing stuff for essences. There were some weird things with that. So what is the one we have not done? The Watchers of Iron. I've done 2 missions, so this will be the last one on this character, and then probably go on my Warden and wrap up the stream after that for the outlook. But, ooh, I need to challenge the spirits of the Watching Stones. That's weird. This one almost looks like... Wait, I need to defeat lesser Watching Stones or challenge the spirits of the Watching Stones. I think the second option sounds more fun. Let's challenge. Challenge that guy? I don't know what to challenge. Maybe I have to go upstairs or something. Well, I have to destroy 12 of these. But yeah, this mission actually, I think, is one that sounds a little bit more involved than a single quest, at least. This is like if they talked about missions being 2 to 3 quests, this is one that seems like it could be about 2 quests worth of content at least. And beginning of days, you said they are ugly bushes, so I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one, because I've talked about it quite a few times throughout my time on YouTube, and some people, I'm actually not sure if I've seen many people really agree with me quite on it, but I think some people have commented that they don't really mind the bushes, and it's just something personal that I feel like with LOTRO. Actually, I made the improvements LOTRO needs video, and one of the things I mentioned in it was they need better bushes because they bother me so much. And I think the point was in the video, if I remember correctly, is that I would enjoy LOTRO more and enjoy like newer zones, and even Rohan, I'd enjoy zones like that if they changed the bushes to be pretty or even remove them. I think a lot of areas could actually look a lot better if they just didn't have random bushes in the landscape. It's a weird thing, I think, that bothers me so much, but it does, and does have a little bit of impact, I think. Well, got a lot of nice crits there. Minstrels do be crit reliant. I almost totally messed up that word. I only partially messed it up. I just had to stop myself. Alright, so I still haven't gotten to where I can challenge the spirits, but I think I can go upstairs at least. We still have 5 standards to destroy. Do I need to challenge them? Don't know. In beginning of the days, you said you meant an instance. I wonder if you did the silent street, maybe? If you're talking about like a regular group content instance, I think that one is basically in Minas Tirith, if I remember correctly. Like, it's up on an upper tier, I think, but I don't know if you can actually access it in the regular Minas Tirith city. Ooh, lots of debuffs here. I have a skill to remove that. Oh, I used to play just a variety of classes a lot more. So like back at the 105 days before Mordor, basically, when I felt like playing alts was a lot more accessible, we'll say. I was actually familiar with how all these different classes played. I was used to playing a bunch of different classes now that the missions is out. I might actually get into playing different classes more, playing them more frequently, but sometimes it just takes me a few minutes. I'm like forgetting what things do. I'm so used to playing whatever classes I already play a lot and I'm most familiar with, but I haven't played Minstrel other than the missions here. I basically haven't played it much in like 2 years, really. Played it a little bit occasionally throughout the times, but been a long time since I've really played it frequently. Apparently I've defeated 2 lesser watching stones. I still don't know where I can challenge the spirits of the watching stones though. Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. Maybe I have to actually challenge. I got like that little thing there, so I get the signature if I challenge it, maybe. This is watching stone spirit. This is not a lesser watching stone. I don't even remember defeating, so that still counts. Defeating the spirit. Maybe it still counts like whatever progress I do with that. I'm kind of curious now if I don't do the challenge on that, what happens? I actually don't know. I still don't know how I defeated 2 of them though. I feel like I'm going with a slightly bad rotation. That's why you call it with a minstrel. I think it's better to use Cry of the Wizards first, actually. Then maybe Cry of the Valor. Then Call of the Second Age after that, as far as those 3 go. Okay, so I think that mission is done. It's a little bit weird. This one doesn't even give you a dwarf text where you just have to run back. But Beginning of Days, you said that's one of the reasons you left WoW. And WoW, you could stand in one spot and leap into instances endlessly, so the Dungeon Finder. And it's why there is endless flying mounts just sitting on roofs in Stormwind. Yeah, WoW is a little bit weird, a little bit crazy with all the flying mounts and that you can just do the Dungeon Finder. I kind of like the Dungeon Finder in a way though, and that because it's easy to just like queue up for an instance. I am not a fan of just sitting on like my flying mount on roofs in Stormwind though and doing that. I usually like to do stuff like while I'm queued for dungeons in WoW. That's why I usually do like the DPS role, because you actually search for instances, search for groups longer, even though I like tanking and healing the variety. I think it would be nice if there was something like that in LOTRO. Probably a lot of people would complain, but I think a lot of people would like it as well. They actually have something somewhat like that, or used to have something somewhat like that. I think it's been kind of removed now, because it didn't really work that well, so nobody really used it. Let's see, yeah, it doesn't even have anything like that in this panel now. And they have all these things where I don't even know if people use this. If I remember correctly, this basically didn't work. The whole system they had over here. I think you can message people and tell them you're interested in a group, and that's about it, if I remember correctly. Like, it doesn't actually group you all or queue you all together. But anyway, I actually have a ton of old missions on this character that I just like accepted the quest for, so I can still run them and even run all, I guess 16 missions I have available is probably what I have, but I probably won't quite do that many, but maybe to get some variety, I'll go ahead and do some of the ones I already have accepted. See, we did Watchers of Iron. We haven't done Blockade on the High Pass, so just to get a new one, I'll go ahead and accept that. But yeah, I'll just run through these missions pretty quickly, probably, on this character. This is a neat area. This is in Wolfdens, apparently. Oh. I kind of recognize this place, I think. That's where you go to the Misty Mountains, so I have been here, but I actually thought this was Forestial when I first went in here. I guess I knew it wasn't Forestial. This isn't an actual place of Forestial, but it really looks kind of like what I thought Forestial looked a little bit like. Maybe the Misty Mountains around here looks like this as well, but anyway, that was pretty nice. But I need to destroy, I am in the yellow line, need to destroy some icy blockades. So we should be able to, oh no, I thought this might have been, there are a couple like ice wall things, I think, in other missions where you can actually target them yourself, and I don't know why these whelplings are like running in weird circles, but that's what they're doing right now. But I thought maybe this one was like that. It's ones you have to actually click everything. Lots of interesting mobs here. I guess I kind of like worms and dragons, those type of mobs in LOTRO. Target not in line of sight. Okie dokie. Probably because of an icy blockade. But yeah, I think I'm going to pull everything and then just destroy a lot of the icy blockades. There actually aren't even any there, so I didn't even need to pull those mobs too much. Probably move this, that's a little bit bothering me. Oh, we're getting some anti-exploit mode. That's a big problem in the missions. I've actually noticed a lot of mobs are broken, and some of the missions actually are... Some of the missions, I guess, are extra bad about it. Yeah, they just get stuck on the icy blockades. Well, that means they're not dying by like all my dots and AoEs that I have going on. Actually, I'm in the red line. I thought I was in the yellow line the whole time. That probably explains a little bit with my range damage being slightly lower than I expected, I guess. But the good news is once I enter melee, means I am stronger. Guess I can destroy these icy blockades. Maybe that'll unconfuse these mobs. See, I'm guessing the worms will be able to attack me if I went there, but I'll just stay on this side so I can do this. Oh, they're still confused. Well, I'll just ignore them. If I can get the mission done, then that's pretty much all I care about, except I'm getting hit maybe by some like whelplings and even the worms. This is super weird. I tend to bug things out because I'm a little bit reckless about my behavior in a way. As in, I like to pull a bunch of mobs like I did here and just run around, but I guess they can get stuck in the icy blockades. But I should still be able to get the mission done. I don't know if there's another step after this. Occasionally you'll have to like defeat a boss, but sometimes that's all there is to the mission, and that looks like it's the case here, so I can just leave. I won't get my level 130 chest, which has like 2 Gobblelaka war marks and like 200 silver, but that's not too big of a deal. Main thing I need right now is actually reputation with these guys. I don't know my reputation progress. We can look at that. Still not enough to barter for anything. There's like Iskas, Faberal, Uskas, Faberal, and Uskas. Oh, 3 tiers, I guess. And I really don't know what they mean. I think they're supposed to be compared to... I'm at Idmul. I think they're supposed to be compared to like acquaintance, friend, ally, kindred, that type of stuff. So the bloody ritual, we haven't done that one either. We can do that. Oops, that's assault on something else. One of the ones I already had, which we can do those again, but I want to go ahead and get the new ones for this character. Destroy ritual obelisks. Is that one? Oh, it does look like one. And I still didn't switch to the yellow line. Also wasn't in range stance, so I used regular resounding challenge, which isn't a great thing, but I think I'll go ahead and get a couple bleeds on this ritual obelisk and that should kill it. Don't know where the other one is. There's 2 of them. Oh, a doubt down there. I actually remember this place from questing. I wonder if you have to go inside. Looks like there are some mobs to the east, so probably around there. This is all I have to do, and there's only like 1 more. Ooh, my power. These guys are actually doing, I guess, relatively okay damage. But if this is all I have to do, this might be a super short mission. Yep, that is it. This time I should be able to get my chest. My mission reward of, unless they've changed this, it should be 2 Gobblelaka war marks and 200 silver. And it does not look like they changed it. So while doing the next mission, I guess it's a good time to recap a little bit of what I've done today. What did I do? The bloody ritual? The Riches of Sundergrot. That was an annoying mission. Did we do the Veil Watch rescue? Oh yeah, we did that. We did Hunting Grounds as well. Throne, Last Embers. Oh yeah, I remember this one. I want to try this one actually on this character. And let me actually switch to the yellow line. But just for a recap today, things at the beginning, I think I mentioned this was in a way a variety stream where I didn't know exactly what I would be doing. So as far as that goes, I really didn't know exactly what I would be doing. We did the intro mission on the Guardian and then did the group content, but that is what went kind of unexpected. We were having more trouble with that than I would have thought. Which is okay with the difficulty, it just meant that it took some time. It was going super slow, like my character was not up to code with that. I also was DPSing, I was expecting to heal. I usually contribute a lot more if I'm healing. Oh, we need the key. That's right. I forgot how to get that though. I really wonder, I feel like I'm taking more damage than usual even on this character. Like, normally I have no problem even in the DPS spec pulling like that many enemies. I really don't, I just hadn't, I did a lot of missions, but I still feel like I didn't do enough because I wasn't really motivated to run them before. Oh, I just need to do this. I wonder why I couldn't click that earlier. Maybe I had to, I found a missing piece, so probably had to kill an enemy down there. I wonder what happened. Oh, I have no traits. That probably explains a little bit. I've still been killing mobs somehow with no trait points spent, but that does explain a little bit, I guess, with why my skill bar is weird and perhaps even taking all this damage. I don't know. I don't think any of the L-line traits would affect that, but yeah, this is what an unspec'd warden looks like at level 131, so not too bad, at least in a mission. Okay, we will see. I don't see my mission reward up here, so it's probably back down at the beginning. But I need to actually get this character, get this spec situated, so I don't think I put in that. I'll just try to build something random but useful real quick. Oh, that's the one I don't put in. I do put in up here. And for what I do a little bit different than I think probably what endgame, even though this is an endgame warden, I think I do a little bit different. I do more for solo, like landscape type stuff. I think I do put in that, but we can put in the red line first to make sure I get everything I need, because I think people actually use the spear sweeping stuff, which is super weird. Spear gamut bleeds deal burst damage, don't need that. And then the last, oh, I have 2 more points than I usually do. I don't need that. Because I don't use my spear gamut bleeds. So I have 2 points to spend. I don't even really need that, but I have it. Don't want anything in the blue line. Oh, I could do gamut builder damage. Just to spend those last 2 points. But yeah, I'll get that mission reward. But then after the group content and all the unexpected issues with that, or unexpected, I don't even know issues is the right word, but the difficulties a little bit. I should probably take care of this character's inventory. But yeah, after that we did the missions. I did them on the captain, which they were a little bit slow on the captain. Then I found out my minstrel was weak. That was the next character we did it on. And then did it on my warden. So it was actually all 3, but took a little bit of time just to get to the missions on them. And I feel like these missions, compared to all the other ones I've done some slower missions today, unfortunately. So I just feel like I haven't gotten through as much, or it took a little bit longer, but it's getting kind of late for me. So it is a good time for me to get off, I think. And one thing we can actually look at is the jewelry. Yeah, the jewelry is actually disenchantable in Timbers of Enchantment, so I am glad I saved that. I saved it more like just in case I would ever tank, but I actually have a use for deconstructing it a lot better than selling it for just a couple hundred silver. Or not a couple, almost a couple silver, definitely not a couple hundred silver. But yeah, that is all I have for the stream. Tomorrow, I actually don't know what's going on tomorrow, but Friday I do plan to have a regular video. I probably won't be able to stream, unfortunately, but tomorrow I'm guessing I will stream. I don't think I'll have another like random video tomorrow, especially since I'll be like working all day tomorrow and I don't have anything prepared yet. So yeah, probably stream. I'll probably do Louis Den tomorrow, do a little bit more of Elder Slade questing and maybe some more endgame content. Basically, I don't think quite a repeat of what we did Tuesday, a little bit different group content, just a little bit of variety. But yeah, I think Friday's video should be a little bit exciting. It'll be another review type video for update 28, but another one, it's going to be one I haven't done yet. At least that's the plan. I hope to get that video done by Friday. I still need to basically do everything for it. I just have the idea for it and plan to have that Friday. But anyway, yeah, as far as the stream goes, it's been a little bit odd for me talked about why during the odd part, so I don't want to go over all that again. But even with that, I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks for joining and chatting and watching.